So you want to be comfortable and confident with your body language. That's basically blending sharp and soft. Sharp is intentionality, posture, structure, preciseness, intention, sharp gestures. Soft is comfort, relaxation, flow, slower movements, the breath. I used to have these reactive tendencies, either unconscious or reactive. And this comes out when I'm not breathing a lot of times. Like maybe I have these like moments where I'm sharp, but then all of a sudden my hand will be like this, like I'll fidget or like, I feel like we all do this, right? Or is it just me? Just like weird things that when we're reactive or like when we're fidgety, it happens. And we can reduce this significantly just through the breath. Just keep the breath going. So when I'm engaging with people, I'm always breathing. And this is where when you have the breath going, then your sharpness and softness naturally comes together. Because you can see me doing it here. Any posture I settle in, I'm sharp. So I make sure if I'm in a setting, my stomach is tucked in, my shoulders are back and down, and I look at people. I turn to face them. I don't move too dramatically or too reactively too, because again, that will get me into a forced tension space. And again, I'm not overthinking about these things. I'm just in flow. But in order for me to be in flow, I move slowly most of the times. I move slowly to settle into different new postures. And I do switch it up. Every little while, I'll like do a little shift. I'm not fidgeting this entire time. I'm not overthinking, but I keep some gradual movements and new postures going so I feel sustainable. So that because if I get into this one position, let's say I'm in a professional meeting and I'm like, okay, sit upright, but I'm not breathing and I'm not moving. Obviously, that becomes awkward. So I sit upright, I'm breathing, and I just flow. This is the softness. This is the comfort. When people are talking, I look at them. But even when I'm looking at them, I look away to process, to think, and I look back. And everything I do is either through flow or intention. So as I'm talking, I'm not going to like start to question myself and hesitate. This is when we become fidgety and when our body language and facial expressions get weird. Is like we want to go for it, but we catch ourselves, we hesitate, then that's when we're fidgety and we're overreacting. I just go for it. If I have something to say or like see my hands, I just like let it flow. I let it flow. And sometimes I'm intentional. I have a point. I point. And I'm being careful right now not to be prescribing the exact gestures and things you do because again, once you start to memorize things, then it's not going to flow for you. Yes, there are some basics like sit upright, but relax your shoulders. But even that, see, it's less about this exact posture. It's more have some structure, be confident. When you sit upright, you're naturally confident, but you don't tense because you're comfortable. Turning towards people when they're talking, but don't sacrifice yourself. You don't have to like show them you're like really listening to them. Like be gentle with it. And sometimes just turn your head a bit. Save your energy. Be eye level. Look at people, but don't exaggerate. And so much of this just comes through presence. Just be present. Don't be overthinking. Just be present. And stay eye level. Again, through your energy first. When you're eye level, that means you are very confident. You're happy to be here, but you see everyone at eye level too. So you naturally give them respect, but you're not going to overdo anything either. When you have that, then your body language flows way more naturally. Other universal things would be like if you're settling your limbs, like my arms, be open and structured. Again, that in itself, it's the energy. It's sharp and soft. My limbs, I place them in a way where there's structure, but there's openness. I'm not like pretending, masking, exaggerating, or forcing. I'm like structure but flow. Structure but flow. Structure but flow. I keep movement going so I'm able to keep the sharp and soft going. And when I'm able to kind of just gently flow, and I keep the breath going, then it feels good for me. Then I can sustain this. I don't get to a place of suddenly feeling awkward, uncomfortable, or rigid or overthinking. I'll put my tongue behind my teeth, top teeth or lower teeth, so I can hold some structure there even when I let my face be natural. Like right now, I'm holding my teeth. I'm holding my tongue behind my teeth. I'm going to take a moment now to introduce the sponsor for today's episode, which is Giren Clinic in Seoul, Korea. They're a dermatology and plastic surgery clinic, and I visited them a month and a half ago. So basically, a month and a half ago, what I did with Giren was I got my breasts enhanced. I got them enhanced, and I'm very grateful. I'm very happy with the results. This obviously is a personal story, but I want to be open and share with you guys because I battled with an eating disorder for a long time throughout my 20s, and I'm fully out of it now. I am so grateful. If this is something that you guys want to learn more about, my story, because I learned so much in this journey, I'm happy to share more, so please comment below. And through that journey, so much happened. But one thing obviously was I was not taking care of my body. I lost a lot of weight, a lot of fat and muscle, especially in the beginning years when I was really intense in it. And I lost my boobs. I lost my breasts, if I'm being completely honest. And the other thing is my breasts were always a little bit lopsided. This one was always bigger than this one. My ex named them. My ex named this one Bertha, I think, and this one I don't know, but Bertha, because Bertha was bigger and this one was like some name that sounds small. That was always a thing, but then on top of when I battled with an eating disorder, I lost my boobs. And it was really hard for me for many years because my band and my cup size didn't change, but then I lost the fat here. I thought about it for a long time because I also knew that, especially because I used to have an eating disorder, I didn't want to do anything until I was balanced. I really love myself. I'm really already confident with myself to then consciously think of things like this, whether it's actually something that I want to do. And for me, it was. I obviously wanted to find doctors and a clinic that really understands what they're doing. They're really good at what they're doing. They're really good at making the boobs. And they will really listen to my personalized needs and give me exactly what I want. And that was Giren Clinic. I am so grateful to have worked with them. They made the whole process so much more comforting and safe and trusting and confident for me to go through with everything. It was my first time having surgery. I actually have never had surgery before. My first time going under anesthesia. And that experience, by the way, was crazy. But it was so easy because of Giren too. I went under, and the next moment I thought we were still getting ready for the surgery and I was walking into the recovery room. It was crazy, but anyways, everything went very, very smoothly. It's been a month and a half. They feel good. They're still recovering. They're going to get softer and softer. They're already much softer than the beginning. There's balance in everything in life, but things that we truly want and we're conscious about, just don't be ashamed of it and go for it. Make your life the best it can be and give yourself what you truly want for yourself, but from a place of confidence and comfort, from a place of balance, from a place of sharp and soft. So thank you again, Giren, for being today's sponsor and for these. And I have left their information below and their contact information. You guys can ask them questions. If you want to book a free consultation, whether digitally or if you're visiting Korea, go ahead. I have all the information down below. They speak English, they speak Chinese, they speak other languages as well. Just contact them and ask. Sometimes it's hard for me to break down some of the practical examples and steps I show you guys because it does come naturally. It's an energy. For me to understand this energy, it comes through self-love. And self-love is intimacy and balance. It's getting to know ourselves very intimately. Our thoughts, our emotions, our triggers, our experiences, our strengths, our weaknesses, and also including how we present ourselves, how we move our bodies, what we do with our hands. Do we do things when we're nervous, reactive, anxious, see it all as data. Let's say my hand gestures, it's always been a natural part of me. So when I really got to know myself, I realized that, yeah, I actually do use my hands a lot. I didn't even consciously really know this in the past, but when I started to look at it, I actually started to see that it is also something I push and over exaggerate when I get nervous. These tipping points are not meant to restrict us or limit us. Knowing our tipping points is meant to liberate us. The more I get to know myself and see what I do when I start to get reactive, self-conscious, or unconscious, the more I'm able to catch myself before these moments happen, breathe, and then continue on being how I want to be, just consciously, with confidence and comfort. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you guys are interested in a personal session with me, a one-on-one session with me, you guys can book it in the description below. Thank you guys so much for being here. Don't forget, when in doubt, take that breath, go higher, and see things from a new view. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.